Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spotlight on Amputee series. I know last week we didn't have a show. We had some technical difficulties that we've since got worked out, and we're all good to go. I think what had happened is whenever it became showtime, we were ready to start shooting and everything, and my computer wanted to start running updates. Just left to just I mean rapid fire. So it was just like update, 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 all at the same time. So we had to just scrap that and try for another day. So we're gonna have that show on Thursday. So it would be this Thursday coming up, and it'll be the same time, everything 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So whatever that is for you guys. So yeah, that way you guys can we can still enjoy the show and that kind of stuff. Chevy's going to come on and tell us all about drag racing, that kind of stuff, and what it's like being an adaptive drag racer, and just what all it takes, what all kind of modifications that his car would require, anything like that. And yeah, he's got a lot of really awesome stories that I'm really excited for you guys to see. And yeah, so he's going to come on Thursday and hang out with us, and talk more about that kind of stuff. So there you go. Um, I know since we've last met and been on the show here, we have parted ways with Van Shoes. We after 11 years of me with music and my channel and that kind of stuff, we decided that we're gonna go opposite directions and kind of do our own thing. So we're no longer with Van Shoes. So we are currently in talks with somebody else, and I can't really say right now, so I'm not really going to talk too much deeper on that. Um, but one sponsor that we have picked up here recently is Firmu Eyewear, and you guys will be seeing more on them coming up in the near future. I'm going to do an entire video for them, and I have a pair of glasses in there that I'm going to try on, and it's going to also give you guys a discount code and some other goodies that will come along with it. So, so there you go. Let's jump in and say hello to some folks here. Miss Tammy Conlon, how you doing, dear? Christy Yant, there you are. Mr. Backwoods, there you are, my brother. Pigeon Mac, always good seeing you. Let's see, scrolling down here. Mr. Red Dog, my brother. All right. So, like I said, I reached out a lot on these amputee groups, this kind of stuff, and asked people, are they interested in telling their story, coming on, hanging out with us, and I like to meet a lot of interesting folks on there, and you really do. You hear a lot of cool stories, a lot of inspirational stuff, and our guest tonight is no different. So so yeah, when I reached out to her, she almost immediately, as soon as I put it out there, she was like, "I want to do this. This sounds like so much fun." So I was like, "Right on." And yeah, she's super energetic, very friendly, and I'm super happy for you guys to meet my new friend, your new friend, Miss Kayla Inman.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm doing just fantastic. It's beautiful here today.
Good deal, good deal. It's like 77, I think, is what we got up to here in Nashville today.
Okay.
So yeah, we were at the park and all kind of stuff. It was great.
Yeah, I think we got up to 75 here in Denver, so it beats
Oh
the
wow.
cold.
Oh, absolutely. And see, that's the thing. Y'all get snow, like snow. We get a little bit here and it's a little dusting. That's about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right on, right on. Well, I was telling everybody a little bit about you, and again, it's not really my job to tell your story. That's why I brought you on, so you can tell your own story. So, would you mind telling my audience a little bit about yourself and just how you actually joined us one leggers and all that good stuff?
Absolutely. So I am out here in Colorado. I have been a right below knee amputee for about 3.5 years now. And I am so excited to be here because when I lost my leg, I got my life back, which is so incredible. I'm sitting here 3.5 years after my expiration date, so I'm pretty excited to be sitting upright. There's been some
Good deal.
setbacks recently, but you know what? We're here and we're alive, and this is amazing. So,
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. You recently had a hospital stay, I noticed, and I was going to ask you if it's everything good. You all right?
Yeah, I am good now.
Okay,
I
okay.
I had a revision amputation back in October because I shattered my fibula in my short leg. Went too hard
Fun.
at sand volleyball, and I ended up with a infection during that surgery, and so I ended up having two additional surgeries, and the most recent one was 3 weeks ago. Um, and so I'm finally on the mend and finally feeling good again and pain free, and it's the way we like it. So.
Good deal. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. So, so yeah, what is Miss Kayla's story? How did you join us in the one-legged world? You're
I
below knee, correct?
I am. Yep, right below
Yeah,
knee. Yep.
that's right below. Okay.
So I joined you guys 3.5 years ago, September of 21. So in the heavy parts of COVID, because I had treatment resistant complex regional pain syndrome that had developed after many years of trials and tribulations. The original injury I had sustained is I slipped on ice at my work and I broke a bone in my foot. And I walked on that foot for a very long time before I had surgery to correct it. And after that first surgery, I had a lot of complications that happened and never quite could get back up to, walking, running, the activities I was doing. And so I had another surgery to fix that. And then after
Man.
that second surgery is when the complex regional pain syndrome just kind of reared its ugly head and said, sorry, you're not going anywhere. And CRPS is actually the most painful disease known to man. It has no cure. It's going to be stuck with me forever. So I'm happily in remission right now.
Good deal.
But I went through the ringer with that because I tried every treatment that you could possibly think of to try and get rid of the 24 hours, 7 days a week, 10 out of 10 pain. And
Yeah.
I got to the point where I started to die. I couldn't eat solid foods. I wasn't sleeping. I was knocking on death's door pretty quick. And I called a surgeon out in Denver and I was like, hey, I have nothing left to try. I've tried spinal cord surgeries and everything you could think of, even witchcraft. And I called him. I was like, hey, do you think that this would work? And he's like, I've done it on like a dozen people successfully. So sure, why not? Let's try it. And I woke up from my amputation and had no pain and I wept like a baby. And I
Man.
was, I got a second chance at life. So it's been fun.
Nice. So the left and everything is good, like doing everything like it should be.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
been
Good
in
deal.
remission ever since that surgery, the amputation, even going through these three surgeries, I'm still in remission. And so I am happily pain free today as I sit here. So I'm pretty stoked.
Nice. Nice. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Wow. How long were you down for? Like, did you do your standard 3 or 4 weeks, and then you were back in physical therapy and doing that kind of stuff?
For the most part, yeah, I think it was about 3 weeks, and then I started physical therapy because I've done physical therapy since my first foot surgery, so I've been going and doing that for a long time now, and
Okay.
I know the benefits of going, and so I was like the second week that I left Denver, I called my PT and I was like, hey, can we start this now? So I was itching to get back moving again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people try to fast track everything, you know. It's just like, so how do we do this? And they're like, whoa, whoa, calm down, calm down. You got to heal first, you know. It's like you don't even have your stitches out. You're talking about
Oh
like, when do we go get a prosthetic? When do we get a prosthetic? It's like
yeah,
you don't yet, okay? You just put that out of your head for now.
yeah. You got to start in PT and get stronger, so then you can use your prosthetics. So
Yeah. Well, with me, it was like I kept seeing everybody else's cool leg, and I wanted that too. You know, I was just like, oh, I want the awesome foot and the whatever. I mean, embrace it. I mean, if you have it now, might as well have something to look forward to. And you're seeing everybody else's cool parts, and you're like, I want that. You know. See, I think a lot of people get excited for that kind of stuff too, because we do get to try out the really cool stuff.
Oh
So, hey. Something I noticed about your leg in particular, is you rock a lot of covers on yours. Do you still do that? Do you have several covers?
I have one cover in particular. Most of my prosthetics are pretty wild and outrageous, though. But I do have one particular cover that's a foam shark cover that's looks like it's eating the bottom of my prosthetic and has
Very
red
cool.
laser beam eyes. So it's a shark with freaking
Nice.
laser beams.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw a picture, and it was like you kind of had like your leg kind of hung over, and you could see like you were proud of that leg. But yeah, I was noticing you had like it looked like a goldish kind of cover or something on there. Maybe I thought it's what I was looking at, but maybe
Maybe.
not.
As
Yeah,
I say, I have a lot of legs.
got you.
I was gonna say I've
There's
got.
no telling, man.
Oh man, it's like the collection of them. I was talking to my prosthetist earlier today, and I was like, "Hey, what are we gonna do with all these legs that I've like shrunk out of or can't use anymore?" And I was like, "We gotta come up with something cool because there's like a dozen sockets now that I just don't know what to do
Yeah.
with."
Yeah, I keep a lot of mine for like educational stuff. Like I was above knee and I was also below knee. So, I mean, I still have a lot of my stuff just sitting around, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
But what I'll do with my stuff is I'll take it to like, hospitals and that kind of thing. Like I've said before on here. And whoops, hang on, knocking stuff over. But yeah, I'll take it to hospitals. I'll let new amputees and stuff hold it, and because it's different when you can actually touch it and feel it with your hands, and
Oh yeah.
see how heavy it is and all that stuff. So, with me being a below the knee and then an above the knee, I still have my below knee. So I can actually physically take that in, or just take my leg that I have on now off and just be like, check it out. This is what yours will, sort of look like. They're not all the same,
Yeah.
but it'll be roughly something similar to what you're seeing right here. And a lot of people, they find a lot of comfort in that. They really do. If they can actually physically touch it, you'll see their face kind of, I don't know, you can sense a change in them, just in that one meeting alone. There's like, this is actually really badass. It's like, yeah, that's yours is going to look similar to this. So get
Oh yeah.
excited, man.
Yeah, a lot of times when I go visit people in the hospital, I'll wear my running blade in, so that way, it looks like I can go really fast or something. And, it's really
Yeah.
fun to see it.
Exactly, exactly. You want to show off that cool stuff because, again, like I said, it gets people super excited for it. And I love seeing anybody, you know, kind of snap out of it a little bit, because it's scary. You don't know your future. You don't know what it's going to be like. You don't know any of this stuff while you're sitting there in the hospital, especially. I mean,
Yep.
you're a newbie. You're day one, and you've never seen what a leg looks like, or you've never seen what the how it feels, or how heavy they actually are, or any products whatsoever. So, it's good to have that experience, and it kind of gets them ready for it. And I've had a lot of people tell me that they go into their prosthetist and they're like, I want to get this foot in this kind of parts and this kind of, is it possible if I get the air valve with the, it's like, how the hell do you know all this? It's like, because I've been looking it up. I've been looking at all these parts online, and this dude came and saw me in the hospital. And so it gets people fired up a little bit about it, and I love that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So very, very cool. Um, so, you said you did your physical therapy and all that good stuff. Now, with all this and dealing with all this, I'm the asking the question of did you, get any kind of PTSD from it would probably pretty much be a stupid question. So,
it, it's a given pretty much with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, how does Miss Kayla deal with that? How do is that something you've handled, took head on, or is it just kind of winging it?
I struggled for a really long time with it just because I mean, it was mostly just medical PTSD. When you go through all this stuff and the pain and the surgeries and the gaslighting that you're going through with a lot of these providers, and you're going through
Yeah.
just like all this trauma all at once is, it's a lot. I struggled for a while because I was like, I can handle this myself, which is you sometimes need some help. So I've been in therapy for quite some time. I practice a lot of mindfulness. I meditate quite often.
Really?
And one of the biggest things that I have found helpful in like my journey is a gratitude jar. So I have a mason jar, and every day I write on a little slip of paper 3 things that I'm grateful for. And I noticed when I started doing this, my gratitudes were like, I'm breathing, I'm awake, I'm like, I have my dogs. And like, it was very simple things. And now it's like, I got to do all these wonderful things today. And the
Yeah.
mindset has shifted over the years. And it's nice because on days where I'm like, wow, I just having a hard day and I open that jar and I can just pull out a little slip. I'm like, oh yeah, 3 years ago, I was really struggling to even remember how to be grateful for things. And now I'm, sitting here. So
That is very, very cool. Wow. I've never even thought about that before. Wow. How did you figure that out? Is that something you came up with on your own or what?
it's a
'Cause that's really
combination of
unique.
things. So I was journaling for a while because my therapist had recommended, practice your gratitude. I had done some like gratitude style journals before, and I just like it wasn't clicking for me because I'd sit there and I'd stare at this big sheet of paper, and I was like, I just can't write a whole sheet of paper. Like it doesn't make sense in my brain. And so I was like, well, let's start small. Let's tear off a little piece of paper and stuff it in a jar. And, it's
Absolutely.
worked.
'Cause, I mean, it's different whenever you, because I take a lot of notes and stuff too. It's different when you have everything all in one section, it all
Yeah.
starts to run together for you and it all kind of looks, it don't make sense after a while. It kind of looks kind of jumbled together and, you start jumping off of one line and start reading another thing and yeah. So, yeah. Um, that's really, really cool. I really do. I dig that. Yeah, that's why I was curious, and like, how did you figure that out? Like, who taught you that?
Yeah.
But I like that a lot. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Say what's up to a few people is coming in. We got some folks popping in here. Mr. Chevy Triple Nickel, good seeing you, brother. We will see you Thursday night, my friend. Chainsaw, good seeing you. Miss Crystal with a K, hello, dear. JJ's Adventures, always good seeing you. Terry M, my brother. Jeremy TRC, I thought I saw you when you came in. Let's see. Red Dog, what up, brother? Jeff Bice, Shaky, my man. All right. I noticed in all the pictures, I was like, Miss Kayla, can you send me some pictures so I can make a good thumbnail? I noticed in every single one of those pictures, you got a little gray dog with you. Is that just your best friend or what?
Yeah, that's my service dog, Virga. And
Yeah.
so she goes everywhere with me.
Very
So
cool.
yeah,
Very,
she's
very cool.
she's been pretty awesome. She's actually part of what helps with the PTSD as well. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wanted to give her a shout out, man, because I figured that's kind of what it was whenever we saw her in the photos and stuff. And my wife, whenever I was putting it together, she was just like, "These thumbnails look really good." And she goes, "I guarantee that girl right there, that's our service animal, because it's like this picture, same dog. This picture, same dog. This picture, same dog." I was like, "Probably right. You're probably right."
yeah, we're pretty inseparable.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. But yeah, I wanted to give her a shout out, because hey, whatever. That's just kind of what we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, you said you had a whole bunch of legs. You had like, you've been going through some parts and that kind of stuff. What are you rocking right now? I mean, what's you don't have to take it off if you got it on, but like what's your what kind of foot you got? What kind of parts you got, man?
I have nothing currently.
Oh
That's
wow.
yeah. So after this surgery 3 weeks ago, I've now lost a little bit more of my leg, and so I have to start all over, which I'm kind of excited for because every time you get to pick a new design and a new foot and everything, and so my previous one I had the adjustable high heel foot on there. and I
Nice.
had a pin lock system, and but I mean, I've tried the suspension systems, the sleeves,
Okay.
everything under the sun, the hybrid systems. So it's a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
What do you have right now? Do you have a pin lock or suction or what is it that you got now?
I will be going back to a pin lock just because that's my personal preference. I've
Okay.
tried the different ones over the years, and the pin lock is the easiest for me. And it's most durable for when I'm like out doing sand volleyball and running and things like that. And so I like it better. So
Okay.
yeah.
Good deal. Yeah, I know a lot of people they either love or hate the pin lock system. So that's why I say when you say like I gotta have my pin lock, it was just like, all right. So I've heard a lot of people it's just like it's very, very uncomfortable because it feels like it's kind of like it'll be stabbing like in the bottom. I've heard a lot of people say like, as you're walking and stuff and you start crashing down throughout the day,
Yeah.
they're like you can kind of feel that stob a little bit, even though it has kind of a surround around the top of it, you can still kind of feel it push into that stump a little bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've never had a pin lock, so I've always been curious about, does that ever become a thing for you? But well, you said you actually prefer it, so
Yeah, well, and there's multiple different styles of pin locks too, and I find so the very first one I had was a big thick plastic one, and the pin was plastic and it was hard to get in and it would get jammed all the time, and I absolutely hated it. Um, Recently I've done a metal pin lock, and it's a different style of liner, so it's more cushioned on the bottom, and that
okay.
seems to be the best combination for me, is having that like the liner that's more cushioned on the bottom than like a lot of the styles they are more cushioned up the front, for more of those basic baloney liners. But the one
Hmm.
I have is more cushioned on the bottom, so I have that cushion and then the pin, so it gives me a lot more of that comfort throughout the day, and that's what I prefer.
Nice. Okay. Good deal. And you said you've tried the suction and all that stuff before, and it didn't. The only thing I didn't like about it with me personally, because that's what I had when I was below knee, and was like I said before, the crashing down. At the end of the day, I mean, our limb starts to atrophy, and it does. It shrinks. It goes back up like by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock that night. It's back to where it started. When you got up that morning.
Yeah,
But throughout the day, as it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, it starts to kind of just get smaller and smaller, and you got to keep adding socks and that kind of thing.
yeah,
That's what I hated about the suction was it just inside there. It's just kind of doing like this. There's nothing to keep it like sturdy, in place. It's just kind of in there moving around, and I always hated that. It feels like a shoe with no laces in it, basically.
yeah. That's one of the things with the suction is really hard, is that in particular is the managing the volume loss throughout the day. I have found that I like the pin lock for that volume loss for myself because I sweat so much when I have that sleeve suspension. And so I would
Mm,
lose a lot more volume with that sleeve suspension. I have tried the hybrid system where it's got like an O-ring and then a pin lock on the bottom. And that one seems to work really well for people who fluctuate a lot in their volume for baloney.
okay.
But you still have to carry around like half socks to put around the ring if you're fluctuating way more than the ring can handle.
Yeah.
But that one seemed to be fairly good for me. I just am impatient, and that one has like a really small pin, and so you have to be really precise to put the pin in the lock. And
Yeah.
I'm not patient enough for that. So
Let's say hey to Miss Brookie real quick. Hey, Miss Brookie, how you doing? Miss Blue Eyes, good seeing you. Good deal. So, how does Miss Kayla handle like, and not necessarily with kids. Kids, you got to kind of handle again with kid gloves, but with with everybody else. What happened? Does that irritate you at all, or do you just kind of whatever a shark ate it off and kind of move on with your life, or how do you deal with that?
So I rock really obnoxious prosthetics. I have shark legs, I have sparkly cheetah print legs, I've got tie-dyed, I've got glitter legs, I've got sequin legs. Like I I noticed when I first lost my leg that a lot of people would just stare and they just they kind of gawk at you, and it's like I'm gonna give them something to stare at then. Um,
Yeah.
so I do a lot of that. If somebody's repeatedly like staring at me or making me feel uncomfortable, I'll go up and just straight up, hey, do you want to talk about it? Because I'm here all day. Like I can talk about it left and right. I am glad I'm here. It saved my life. So
Oh, for
I'm
sure.
yeah. So I'm trying to think of like mostly it's just that. It's like if people are staring, I'm gonna go up and talk to them. The kids are the easy ones because they're just curious and genuinely curious. So I'm like, yeah, you want to see my cool robot leg? But
Yeah.
yeah.
With kids, my go-to for me personally is I was born like this. That's just
Yep.
kind of like, that generally just kind of like, oh, okay. And that kind of ends it there, because you don't really want to scare the crap out of kids and just be like, well, I have a disease that caused my foot to start to fall off on the end and I lost all my toes. And, it's just like, oh my
Mhm.
God, man. What, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that people are going to be like, all right, come on, honey, let's go this way. And it's like, why did you have to tell my kid that, man? It's just like, I was born like this and just kind of
Yep.
leave it alone. Um, I'll be funny, like if the mom's there or something, and or whatever, and just be like, yeah, I didn't eat my vegetables, or
Yeah.
something like that. But generally a quick, what happened is for me, I was born like this.
Yeah.
I wasn't, and you kind of feel bad for people that were born with missing a limb or limb difference, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Your story doesn't benefit them in any way. So it's just keep on moving. Say your thing and just keep on moving.
Yep.
So thank you for your service.
Yeah, and then
just a random thank you for your service. How do we deal with that?
oh my gosh. Usually I just kind of look at them like, you mean my janitor service? And like give them a really weird comment like that because it's like not everybody who lost a limb was served our country, and so it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
um, thanks for the odd comment, but okay.
I've said that before to somebody. Was talking to this drunk dude. I used to play a lot of music and stuff back in the day, and I went to see like other bands that I used to play with, after the fact and after I lost my leg. And there was a drunk dude outside one night. He was just like, "Man, what happened to your leg? You lost your leg, blah blah blah." And I was just like, "Yeah, Vietnam, man." And he was just like, "Oh man, that's horrible." It's like I was 44 at the time. I was like, "How does that even possible? It doesn't even, that timeline doesn't even add up."
Yes.
What's up, Nitro Freak? Good seeing you, brother. Right on. So like, so you just basically skate over, thank you for your service, and just kind of, like, that's more or less what you tell people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right on. I'll adjust my camera real quick. There we go. Um, as far as like home life and stuff like that goes, like adjustments that you've had to made, around your house and in your shower, um, that kind of stuff. Is there anything that you've done differently, or I mean, I guess basically we'll start say with your, like getting up on the porch and that kind of stuff. Did you have to? Do you worry too much about your wheelchair and getting around and that kind of thing?
Not really. I use all sorts of different mobility devices when I'm not using my prosthetic. So I have a knee crutch, I have my wheelchair, I've got forearm crutches, I've got,
Yeah.
pretty much everything you could need to get in and out of a home. For both of my last two homes that I lived in, I just use a shower stool with a rotating head. So it's really compact. And so I can, get myself all the way up to the shower, sit down on the stool, leave my leg or the knee crutch outside the shower, and then I can swivel in. So that makes it
I
really
need to check
easy
on
for
that.
me. Yeah, yeah, because I
That's
didn't
awesome.
those shower chairs that you have to slide out and in. There's so
That's
much
what
water.
I have.
yeah, the water ends up on the floor and then it's just
Yeah.
a mess. And I was just like, you know what? I would rather not slip and fall coming out of the shower. So let's just get one of these. And so
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I didn't even know that was even a thing. I'll be checking on Amazon here in a little bit after you and I are wrapped up.
yeah, I love them. I actually have two different ones. I have a bigger, like sturdier one for my house, and then I have one that collapses, so that way I can take it like on road trips and flights. And
Wherever.
yeah, so
Very, very cool. Yeah, like I said, I didn't even know that was a thing.
yeah.
So in your house and everything, it's pretty much still pretty much same as it was before, or that kind of stuff. Like in the house, like did you have to clear out any stuff or anything so you could get a chair in there?
Not really. The house I have currently is set up for like a wheelchair to
Oh,
navigate.
nice.
So, like most of my house, I have a basement, but I'm not going to use it because all the stuff is on the main floor. So, like kitchen, shower, bedroom, bathroom, all that's upstairs. And so there's just like extra storage downstairs, which is nice. In my previous, I guess, three houses that I've lived in since I lost my leg, all of them had one step to enter the house, but then they were easy to access via either the knee crutch or the forearm crutches or whatever I needed.
Very cool.
So I've been very intentional with making sure that my homes are accessible for me, just because, I'm not going to put myself in a position of living in a 3-story townhome and,
Yeah.
risking a fall and breaking my leg and not being able to access, my house. So,
Yeah. I mean, plus there's monsters in the basement anyway, so you
oh
don't
yeah,
want to go
oh
down
yeah,
there. So, we
100%.
just want to
There's
avoid that at all costs. We can't run from monsters like everyone else can, okay? We can't
exactly.
turn the light off and run out of a room like everyone else. We got to just stand there and face the monsters that are running after us when you turn the light off, all right?
Yep.
Everybody does that. They flip on the light, they're just like, shoo, and they're gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The creepy crawlies is what gets me. So, you guys can stay down
Yeah, we
there.
can't do that, man. Okay,
Yeah.
everybody look. All right, amputees, you got to feel bad for us. All right, look, this is our poor little old us moment. All right, when that invisible monster is running after us, that shadow monster is running after us. When you flip off the light switch, all right, we just got to stand there. All right, so poor us, man. Poor us. All right, you wonder why I got PTSD.
Oh yeah.
So how about our car? You said with it being a right foot, you use hand controls or that kind of stuff. Is that like tell us about that?
Yeah, I use a left foot pedal accelerator. So I got a little
Okay.
device off of Amazon that blocks the actual accelerator. It has a little lever behind it, and then that lever goes behind the brake, and then there's a pedal on the left side of my brake. And so I just drive with my left foot. And I've done that for a lot longer than before I lost my leg. So I really
Okay.
like it.
So your mind's pretty programmed to like just it's no big deal. How much of an adjustment was that though? Because you said it wasn't, you were more of a left footer than you were right foot driving. So was there much of an adjustment to it, or was it just kind of because you would think your brain, it's that whole patting your head, rubbing your stomach, and then now switch. It's it's difficult because your left foot still wants to do what your brain's telling it to, but you're trying to tell it to do something else. So
Yeah, I actually had no choice. At the time, I lost control of my right foot, and so I was like, well, if I want to get out of here and I want to drive and I need to make it to these appointments, I have to drive with my left foot. And so I was crossing my leg all the way over, and my hip was taking a beating, and I was like, there's got to be something out here. There's other people that are missing a right leg that they need this device.
yeah.
So
Oh, so wait a minute. So in the beginning, you were like jumping all the way over with that. Oh, wow.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was before I lost
Man.
my leg, and I like my whole like ankle and foot just like I couldn't use it anymore. It was too painful. And so I'd cross my left leg all the way over and try and do the gas and the brake. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is too much.
Wow. Okay. Very cool. How much is that? Like something, one of those devices like that for anybody else that may would, would want to get
Yeah,
one of those.
absolutely. So the one I got in particular was running about $200 to $250 on Amazon when I got it a
Okay.
few years back. It's one that's really heavy and you can move it from vehicle to vehicle, which is what I preferred. There are some that are cheaper, but you have to drill them into the floor of your car because they don't have the weight behind them to keep them steady on the floor. So
I
there
see.
are
Okay.
more affordable options, but I preferred the one that I could actually move from car to car just so I could take it when I was traveling because I travel quite often. And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very cool. And that's, I'm guessing it could pretty much be set up for any vehicle too. I would assume. I
Mhm.
mean,
Oh, yeah.
very cool. Like it's a just like a universal machine, so or setup. So
Yeah,
that is
absolutely.
very, very cool. You said you use all type of different mobility aids. Like, what is your like when I'm not using my leg? I got my forearm crutches. That's my number one mode of transportation is my forearm crutches. What do you
Yeah.
prefer?
I like my knee crutch.
Oh, the
I use it
iWalk.
all the time. I when I'm not using my prosthetic, this is my go-to. Um, I am currently switching between this and my wheelchair to give my knee a break since I have 3 more weeks before I can use a prosthetic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my knee crutch is. I've had a knee crutch long before I lost my leg too, and that was something that after my first foot surgery, I went to 4 national parks in a weekend, and I used that knee crutch, and I was like, man, this is great.
Yeah, you have the iWalk 2.0 too. What I did with mine is you see how that pad, that blue pad, like lays flat in there.
Hmm.
What I did with mine was I took the end of it, like say it lays like this, and I took the end of it and cut it off, and you'll
Hmm.
have that blue pad just kind of hanging out there. Well, I took it and ran it up the inside of it, so now your kneecap will sit flat, like as like kind of like a cup inside there. Basically, I just shortened it because you know how awkward those things are. I mean, you use one, so the back of it sticks like way out. Like when you go to turn and stuff, you'll knock shit off like the end tables and all kinds of stuff. So you got to be careful with them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I still have my iWalk, and I want to do a whole video kind of describing a little bit more about them, that kind of thing. But I may hit you up and get you like to do like a little demo of you actually using one because I can't use one. That's the only
Yeah.
thing because I'm above knee, so it wouldn't work. If I put my stump in there, I'd end up just busting my ass. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't work for us.
Yeah. No, it's definitely for a certain type of amputee. So
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Or anybody that broke their foot or,
yeah.
sprained ankle or anything like that. So,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, very cool. Man, you have such a great attitude about this, and I'm super super stoked to see that. We're not done or anything like that. I just wanted to say that you really do. A lot of people, you know, I assume like everybody else, we all have our doom and gloom moments. We all had our pity party when this first happened, that kind of thing. Um, you know, what is something that you would tell other people, not necessarily yourself, but something that you like, I wish I'd known this going into it, but something that, it's like, look, I wish I could tell, other people. I wish I could just scream it to the world. It's like, look, better days ahead. There's all this. What is your personal thing that you tell people?
I like to remind people that mental resilience is a skill that is learned and not something that's inherent. I'm sure you get the comment a lot as well. Is like, you're very strong for what you go through. And it's like, hey, that's a skill that you have to learn. You don't just
Yeah.
get blessed with this, you have to practice your gratitude. You have to practice mindfulness. You have to really practice that in order to like bounce back quick or, handle the stuff that life throws at you. And so, that's
Yeah.
there are going to be tough days, but if you practice that mental resilience, you will get through them much faster and much better.
Yeah, and we want to focus on those days. You know, we when we get wrapped in those days, I recently had something similar to that myself, and you get so focused on it, and that strong person, I'm Kayla, damn it, I don't take this shit from anybody, Well, here you are sitting here talking about giving up, quitting, it's just like we all have those moments, man, and it's so easy to fall into those holes and fall into that kind of I'm not good enough. Well, give up, just move on. Maybe this just ain't your bag. Maybe this is something that kind of thing. And that could be anything, no matter what it is, whatever you set out for yourself. And and yeah, man, it's important to understand. Yes, there are better days ahead. There are more important things coming down the pipeline, and your leg for anybody have to look at it like this is like your leg has to be the least interesting thing about you. You
Yep.
know, it's like yeah, you've lost your limb, but so what? Check out this other thing that's really really cool about what So we saying before you was like it's really giving me my life back. More than anything. And not necessarily the pain or anything like that, but it gives you more of a I don't know a self respect kind of
Hmm.
thing. This definitely gives you more of a self respect kind of for yourself and shows you that not necessarily there's people that got it way more than me or way harder than me, but people that you can do this too. Like if there's something that ever actually did happen, that you actually lost your limb, learn from what I got going on, and you can do this as well.
Yeah.
And it's very important to put that out there.
Hmm. Oh
So there's people that are actually wanting to meet the puppy. So will
yeah.
they go? Will she go crazy if you were to go get her?
um, no, she would not go crazy, but it'll take me a good like 10 seconds to walk back to the room.
That's all right. We're all go right ahead. That's fine. No worries.
Yeah, I can hear. So I have three dogs in total. And the one, I don't know if you can hear him in the background, but he's just back there crying away, like, woe is me. My mom has
Oh, we can
left
hear him.
me. Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hear.
That's her puppy, actually. And so he
Oh,
hasn't spent a day away from me in a long time. So he's very attached.
right on. Well, he's about to make the highlight reel. So how about that?
All right, I'll go grab her.
This will be the very, very first dog we've ever had on the show. Period.
Oh,
So
special
how? Yeah, exactly. How cool is that? We've had people. We've had legs. We've had all kinds of crazy shit on the show, but we've never had I almost said CNI dog, a service animal. There we go.
There she is.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, now I'm just gonna sit there and lick you in the face the whole time. Is that cool?
Yeah, she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you left me. How dare you?
Hey, look at us. Look at us. Hey.
Oh,
Oh,
come here.
those ears perked up. There
Yeah.
you are.
We don't spend much time apart, so
Yeah.
these last 40 minutes has been hard for her.
Oh man, it's so tough. It's so tough being a dog. It's so neglectful, man.
Oh, I know. She's
Like,
got a
like
hard job.
yeah, exactly. Blue eyes. It's like she's so beautiful. She has blue eyes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What kind of dog is that? What
She's a
breed is it?
miniature American Shepherd.
Okay.
So she's like about 25 to 30 pounds. Yes, I know. Very sweet. Very smart dog. She's turning 6 this April. And her puppy is 2.5. So, but
Very, very cool. Those keep you busy, huh?
yes.
Yeah, yeah, I bet. I bet. That's so cool. Oh, look at it just lays that head over on you. Just like,
Yep.
God, this is my human. I love
Yes.
my human.
I know. So sweet. So sweet.
That's so awesome. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's so amazing what animals can do for you, you know, as far as like not necessarily go get this, but I'm just saying to your heart and to your emotions.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's, you know, I have a bearded dragon sitting right here next to me, and she is not my emotional support animal, but pretty damn close, you know. I mean, I've been in some pretty rough times before, and I'll just grab her and kind of sit there and just like kind of hug on her, and it does, man. It makes you feel better, you know.
Yeah, yeah, she's pretty great. That's what she actually learned. I was bedbound for a hot minute, and when she was a puppy, and that's what I was like, crap, I need help. I need someone to like help do deep pressure therapy and go get things for me. And like I was like, well, you're gonna learn how to be a service dog now. So
Yeah. How as far as training for that goes, can you just take your dog to that particular training, or do you have to get like a service? How does service dogs work? I've never even attempted to go down that road before.
yeah, so
Huh.
a service dog is just any dog that can do a task that helps you with your daily living activities. And I've trained dogs my entire life, and so this was something that
Okay.
I've done on the side is trained other service dogs. So I personally had the experience to do it. There's no
Gotcha.
certifications for them. There's no like programs that you have to do. So like she's a self-trained service dog, but there are organizations out there that are really amazing that will raise the puppies and train them fully for like mobility service dogs, guide dogs, things like that. Since she just does psychiatric work and the retrieval of objects, like that was something that was um, I I knew how to train, and so she does that for me.
Nice. Nice. So you can tell her like very obscure objects, you know, not just go get the remote for me. You can say, go get my phone, and
Yeah.
they'll, wow.
So
All
she
right.
she can differentiate between four different types of shoes. So my sandals, my boots, my tennis shoes, or
Yeah, that kind
yeah,
of stuff.
she can do that. She can differentiate. And when I tell her I need my medicine bag, she can go get that out of my backpack. She like if I drop like a credit card when I'm using my wheelchair and I can't get out of my wheelchair, she can pick it up off the ground. Um, just like anything like that, she can do. So, which is amazing.
That is very, and you said you train dogs to do that? Like
Yeah.
that's what you do like for a living?
No, it's more of a hobby.
Okay,
um,
but still though, that's awesome.
yeah.
Wow, that's very neat. So doing stuff like that, like I mean, do you just constantly work on them with you know a certain task like over and over and over and over, or I mean, like how does that work as far as like you know I need you to get this shoe, not the other shoe, get this particular shoe. Like how do you get them to you know differentiate between items like that?
It takes a special kind of dog. First of all, not every
Okay.
dog can be a service dog. Um, she in particular was really good at retrieving objects when she was really little, and so that was what we started with. Just because I didn't know if she was going to transition from being like a sports dog to a service dog. And so
Hmm.
we started with, retrieve your ball and then start learning how to retrieve the tug toy when the ball's next to it. And then, rewarding her every time she brought back the correct item. And so, like nowadays, if I drop something in particular and I tell her to just bring the object, she'll bring whatever I've dropped because she knows that that's what I want. Um, but
Gotcha.
like the shoes in particular is like, okay, I need you to go get my sandal, and she'll go get my sandal, or like we'll practice. I'll lay out all the shoes, and so if she brings me the sandal versus the shoe, then it's like, okay, well, we're having a hard day today. I asked for my shoe, so bring me my shoe, and and so she'll it's like humans, they make errors. They're not perfect every time, but
Oh
should
sure.
she'll get there. So
Wow, that is so just damn fascinating to me. I love that kind of stuff. Dogs, man, dogs are. I mean, to say they're smart, that's kind of stating the obvious, you know. But my God, man, that's that kind of stuff right there. It really does show the intelligence level that they do actually have, you know. And yeah, that's crazy. That I'm still just blown away that they can differentiate between, you know, various items. You know, no, not that one, the blue one. They're like, oh, okay. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what
It's
the? How did you
that's
even know
pretty
that? You
confusing.
know?
Yeah. No, the like the bigger task that she does is like the deep pressure therapy and the grounding. So when I have panic attacks from the PTSD, my heart rate goes up, and so she knows that when my heart rate starts to go up, she's got to come over and do certain things. And even if I like shoo her away, she still has to work through that.
Mm,
And so like that in itself, I find is a more impressive task because if you tell a dog no, they're going to be like, oh, whatever, okay. But I mean, these dogs, when they're trained and they fully understand the task at hand, they're like, okay, well, mom's having a hard time. I need to really help her. And I remember the very first time that she did the deep pressure therapy on me after she tried like tapping my hand 100 times. And I was sitting in a chair outside in my patio and I was having this like anxiety attack and I didn't recognize it in the moment. And she was over here just like she dropped her frisbee because we had been playing frisbee. She full on dropped it and starts nudging my hand and nudging my hand. And I was like, please go away, go away, go away. And finally she launched herself up onto my chest and she like pressed down on me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I needed help. And you actually helped me. And it's like, this is exactly why you do it, is because you need those moments where it's like you're stuck in that cycle and you got to get
yeah,
out somehow. And that's what these dogs are trained to do.
yeah, that's so amazing. Um, we have a community that a lot of us are a part of, and we had a dude that claimed that he had a service animal, and it wasn't. It was a fake thing. But I think he had learned some terminology, and he actually started to say and try to convince us that, you know, well, my dog does deep pressure therapy on me and that kind of thing. And as soon as I heard him describing what he thought it was, I was like, you're lying. You're lying through your teeth because I actually know what that is and you're just flat out lying. He was like, my dog, if I have a panic attack in public, I can like lay on the ground and he'll actually like massage my back and massage my shoulders and my neck. And I'm like, mm, dude, your dog is the size of a large tennis shoe. What honest? That's not what deep pressure therapy is. That's not what that is. It's like saying, no, 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 no. I know you're pushing me away. Just let me. I gotta just let me be a part of it. Calm down, calm down. That's their way of doing that. That's what deep pressure therapy is. It's
Mm-hmm.
not. They're not giving you a massage.
No, they're putting the pressure on your shoulders and your hips where
Yeah.
your major nerves are, so it can calm that central nervous system down. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's, hey, Kayla, calm down, calm
Mhm.
down. Shh. That's what they're doing. They're
Yeah.
not giving you a massage. That's not
Yeah.
what it is. And they were
That would
just
be
like, oh
nice if
yeah,
they did.
yeah. I was like, that's not what deep pressure. All right. Anyway, whatever. Moving on. Anyway, well, that's awesome. Well, Miss Kayla, I greatly appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us tonight and giving us all the insight about the puppies and all that good stuff. We actually took a turn into dog world, and I'll tell you what, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was awesome. So,
Absolutely. I'm glad
but
you came on the show.
but yeah, absolutely. I'd love to have you come back on, hang out with us. I don't know. I was planning on doing a second season after, you know, after my child was born. We have a baby on the way.
Oh,
And
congratulations.
thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's our second one. But yeah, I was planning on doing a third season. I mean, a fourth season after that, and you know, around fall, that kind of thing. But I think what I'm gonna do is kind of hold off, and we'll do something maybe pick back up in 2026 or something like that, you know, and just get back going because there's gonna be a lot happening, you know, with having a baby and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, when we do pick back up and we all do get the show back running, we got to have Miss Kayla back on. You got to come back and hang out with us. Do you
Absolutely.
promise to come hang out with us?
Absolutely.
All right, good deal, good deal. Well, again, we greatly appreciate you coming and hanging out with us. And if there's is there any parting words, anything that you'd like to say before you go? Any bits of wisdom, and what kind of wisdom nuggets would Kayla like to drop on us before she heads out?
I
I
would
And quit
like
kicking your dog. I can hear you kicking the dog.
he's he's pretty the puppy is pretty vocal about his disdain in the crate right now. So he's pretty upset. No, I just, I'm thankful for being able to share my story again, because sharing your story is one of those things that if I can help inspire another human being to get through a tough time, like that's, I'm glad I'm here then. So I'm just grateful to be alive, and I am happy that I get to spend another day here with my dogs and with you and having a good time. So
100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much again for coming on and hanging out with us. Yeah, we look forward to having you back on, and I'll be in touch with you. And like I said, I want to get that link from you. If you could find me the Amazon link for your foot pedal, I want to
yeah,
put that in the
absolutely.
description of this for anybody that does watch it later on that would want to go back and, that does have kind of the same, the same thing going on right now, whether they broke their foot or they're missing a foot. It don't matter.
Yeah,
But yeah, I would like to get with you after this and get that link from you, or just see which one you have, that kind of thing.
absolutely.
So awesome. All right, Miss Kayla, we greatly appreciate you, and we will talk to you soon, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, bye. All right, everybody. I want to sincerely thank everybody for coming and hanging out with us tonight. I hope you guys had a good time. Like I always say, I realize this isn't everyone's bag. I know everybody's not an amputee, and the fact that you guys do come and hang out with us, it means everything to me. It truly does. I know I say this kind of ad nauseum, and without you guys, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to keep the show alive and do the things that we do. A huge shout out to my sponsors, Firmu Eyewear, Taggart and Torrance Podcast, and Bulow Prosthetics. Without them, this show wouldn't exist. So, greatly appreciate you guys for doing everything you do for the show, for this channel, and believing in what I do here, and just truly being behind, the motivated one-legger, so to speak. So, Miss Tammy Conlon, let's see, Christy Yant, Backwoods, Pigeon Mac, let's see, scrolling down, Red Dog, my brother, Jeremy TRC, Backwoods again, Terry M, good seeing you, Crystal with a K, hello dear, JJ's Adventures, always good seeing you, Chainsaws Abused Fridge, my brother, Shaky, how you doing, my friend, Chevy Triple Nickel, my brother, good seeing you as always. Scrolling down. Trolling for Jesus, my brother. Let's see. RMY. Let's see, what is this? Mylon's family. R. Mylon's family. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. I greatly appreciate that. Jeff Bice, my brother. Jeff Bice. Let me see. Scrolling down here. Miss Brookie, Blue Eyes. Good seeing you. I believe I got everybody. Nitro Freak, my brother. Scrolling on down, scrolling on down. If I forget anybody, I'm sorry. You can shout out and be like, hey, asshole, you forgot my name. Smart Mouth, good seeing you, brother. All right, I think I got everybody. I think. Miss Kim Mousley, hello, dear. Good seeing you. The Reckoning, my brother, there you are. You popped in very, very last, like almost as we was getting ready to head out. All right. So again, thank you guys for coming. Again, thank you guys for being a part of this show. The merch store, we still got a lot of good stuff in the merch store. Me and Backwoods also have something coming up very, very special for you guys, and I'm not really at liberty to say what it is just yet. Please join us this Thursday. So in 2 days from now, come hang out with us, and that'll be Mr. Chevy Triple Nickel. Again, he's going to come on and tell us all about drag racing and all that good stuff, and what it's like being a drag racing amputee. And yeah, so we will see you guys Thursday. So with that, everybody remain happy, safe, sane, motivated. Don't look back. Don't give a crap what anybody else says about you, because at the end of the day, it don't matter. We'll see you next week.